welcome to my channel, The Moody Pages. I'm Chanel. So today we're going over books I read in November. So here's just I'll give you a little sneak peek, but here's just the physical books I read. It was a productive month, but I also feel like it was not a productive month all at the same time. When I used to film on this spot, I'd always say this is the candle of the video. So today is Under the Christmas Tree from Bath & Body Works. We do not have a bookish candle today. We have a normal candle today. Okay, let me see here. Let me pull up in Goodreads to tell you what we did. I did. Okay. First book I read was Glow by Raven Kennedy. Now, this seems thick, but the text is pretty massive in my opinion. But I also read this on Kindle Unlimited. So if you're interested in the Plated Prisoner series, it's about this girl who pretty much, it's like a retelling of King Midas, and this girl pretty much finding herself and realizing she's so much more than what people tell her she's worth. She's finding her own self-worth and value and her own independence after being trapped for so long. There's a lot of trigger warnings for this series. Name it, it's there. So definitely warning for this series, but this is probably one of my favorite series ever. I could probably have literally every edition of this series and not get sick of it and want more. It's just that good. I relate to characters finding out that they are worth more than what they thought and what they've been told their whole lives. So really enjoyed this book. I read it so fast. Like I said, it's on Kindle Unlimited. This was a 5-star for me. That was the first read. The second read is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. Now this one I can go into a little bit more depth about, and this is one I think in my when I was doing my TBR video, I definitely had read this one already, and I was like, no, I hadn't read it before, but yes, I have. I listened to this on audio, and the audio was actually really good. So there was this guy named Wallace. He's this lawyer that pretty much has a stick up his butt. He is strict, no fun, just kind of an a-hole, not nice dude. And he dies. He has a heart attack. And so Reaper comes to come get him, and then she's like, you're hanging out with us. And who is it? A Reaper and who? Someone that's helping him transition. Hugo, the owner of a peculiar tea shop, promises to help him cross over. So he's hanging out at this tea shop, and then he's finding more about life while he's dead than he ever did living. So it says, but even in death, he's not ready to abandon the life he barely lived. So when Wallace is given 1 week to cross over, he sets about living a lifetime in 7 days. And this was a really cute story. I would still say House on the Cerulean Sea is my favorite, but this was very good, and I think TJ Klune is just an amazing author at making you feel really comforted. Very wholesome book. This one I gave 4 stars just because it didn't live up to the House on the Cerulean Sea warmth that I got. But again, very good book. Okay, this one I'm actually surprised. It feels like I read this in October. It feels like November is months away, and it is December 3rd as I'm filming this. So how does it feel like it's been months already? I don't know. But I read Kingdom of the Feared. This was the last one in the series. It's a trilogy, and oh man, it was such a letdown. Listen, I loved book 1. Book 1 was really good. I was like, okay. And then book number 2, my favorite of all time. And then something happened in this. I think that there needed to be an extra 100 pages in this book, or maybe even 200. because I feel like there was a lot left unsaid, and the only thing I can think of why some of the plot line was like not finished is because maybe there's going to be a spin-off series to this, which I would totally read. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but this was it was good. I just wish that there was more to it, more explanation, and then also the same adjectives were used to describe emotion, used to describe an action, used to describe, like, literally you name what's going on and she used like the same adjectives. So that's pretty frustrated. But then also, like, reading this book, it made sense why this is like a rose gold color. And then like the artwork in this was, this is a special edition, but it was good. I just think it could have been better. So this was a 3-star for me, and I felt really bad giving it a 3-star because this is a good series. The first 2 books are phenomenal. I just didn't love this ending, and I felt like the ending was really predictable. But again, I will read the same type of books over and over again. Oh, man. Alright, so we're getting into my first audiobook that I finished. And I finished A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Brigid Kemmerer. And this was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So if you remember last month, I listened to A River of Shadows, and I also have that book. So that was also a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I would hands down recommend A Curse So Dark and Lonely over River of Shadows. River and Shadows had some spice in it. This one did not. So if you're looking for something with some spice in it, maybe not this one. But the writing style was so much better. The narrator of this book also a lot better. I just feel like there was a lot more action going on, and it also kind of reminded me of like the beginning. Read to you. It says, cursed by a powerful enchantress to repeat the autumn of his 18th year, Prince Ren, the heir of Emberfall, thought that he could be saved easily if a girl fell for him. But that was before he turned into a vicious beast hell-bent on destruction. Before he destroyed his castle, his family, and every last shred of hope, nothing has ever been easy for Harper. With her father long gone, her mother dying, and her brother constantly underestimating her because of her cerebral palsy, Harper learned to be tough enough to survive. When she tries to save a stranger on the streets of Washington, D.C., she's pulled into a magical world. Brick a curse to save the kingdom. Harper doesn't know where she is or what to believe. A prince, a curse, a monster. As she spends time with Ren in this enchanted land, she begins to understand what's at stake. And as Ren realizes Harper is not just another girl to charm, his hopes come flooding back. So this kind of game, so yes, A Court of Thorns and Roses vibes, yes, Beauty and the Beast vibes, but I also think A Court of Thorns and Roses, that first part, definitely took from Beauty and the Beast, and I think that's why I liked this so much, is because of the similarities between the two of like a human girl needing to break a curse, and this was perfect. Like, I absolutely loved this book. It gave me just all the right like fantasy feels. You could, the romance actually developed, like, and it didn't go unrealistically fast, which I appreciated. So this was a 4-star for me. Okay, and then I listened to my first holiday book, okay? Love Light Farms. It was so cute. Like, the cover, adorable, right? Like, it's just like this cute pastel green, and I love it. So it's this girl owns a tree farm, and she has like so many ideas for this tree farm, but so many bad things just keep happening back to back that she can't catch a break at this point. So she's like using money from her savings account to keep the place afloat. And then in like a desperate attempt to save the farm, she submits like an application to be featured on this girl's social media page. And she puts that her and her boyfriend own this tree farm together. And it's just super magical, and they'd love for her to come there and, like, you know, be featured essentially. Plot twist is that she doesn't have a boyfriend. So she like asks one of her friends and he's like, yeah, sure, we can be a boyfriend and girlfriend for this time being. And so this book is the fake dating trope, and I love the fake dating trope. Like, why do I like it so much? I don't know. I almost like it as much as enemies to lovers. It's such a good trope. But yes, so the added publicity would add like $100,000 cash prize, and so it really saved like her farm, and you just kind of have to keep reading to find out what happens. Although, you know, all holiday romances and like all romances and like end the same, so you can kind of guess what happens. I actually did listen to, but I have 2 editions of it. Together We Burn, and this is by Isabel Ibanez. So this is a special edition and it has some like character artwork, and this book has a very interesting concept. It's very unique. There's a girl that is a flamenco dancer, and she is the daughter of like one of the world famous dragonadors, like a dragon fighter. Okay, and her mom dies by a dragon, her dad gets injured by a dragon, and so now she, like, in order to save like her family's like reputation, like in castle and finances and whatnot, she has to take over and be the next dragonador. Forget the dancing, she has to fight dragons now. So then she goes on a quest to go find like the world's best like dragonador trainer, like, or hunter, right? Yeah, dragon hunter, and she's like asking him to help, and it's like against his moral standards to like help dragonadors, and they end up coming together for like a mutual cause essentially. But it was an interesting concept. I would say it kept me entertained because I wanted to know more about the plot line, and I will say that there were some twists in there that I was surprised by, but I would not read a similar story again. But with that said, I did give it 4 stars just because of how unique this storyline is. I think it's worth reading once. I would not reread. I would recommend if you want to try something really unique, because I do think that this was definitely a... And the next one I read was Archer's Voice. Now this was for the book babes, and you can see I have thoroughly tabbed it. I have a reading vlog of this going out soon, so I'm not going to give much more detail other than I gave it a 3-star. If you'd like to see a full in-depth review of it, wait for the vlog. Okay, so we're approaching the end. We're approaching the end. I listened to Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn. Oh my gosh, this book was so good. Like, I wish that there was a movie made about this. It was just so good. Again, another interesting and unique concept. So, it's like these 4 women have given their life to this organization, and they have killed so many people. They never went off the books. They never did their own thing. They never like went rogue. Always did just what the company wanted. And now that they're retiring, the company's after them. They have set a bounty on them, like, and to be killed, and a reward for their like murder, death. So it was intense seeing it go through it. And also I just loved that those like old ladies, and I'm like, I hope I'm this cool when I'm that old. I loved it. It was just such a unique concept. It was comedic. I honestly wouldn't say it's a thriller. It's definitely more of a mystery, if anything. But even then, it's not even like that big of a mystery. I don't think so, at least. But it was good. So I would recommend. If you're looking for a really entertaining read, this one would be it for you. So again, I started with my holiday listening, and I listened to Just Nate and See by Portia McIntosh. And I really liked this one. It was, this girl is like wanting a man-free Christmas. and she is like having her mom and her sister move in with her, just yeah, her sister's moving in for the, like, they're just all there for Christmas essentially, living in her house. And she's like, hey guys, we're doing like a man-free holiday essentially. And the mom's like, huh, I got plans. And the sister's like, I got plans. And then her stepdad and stepmom are like, hey, we need someplace to stay, can we crash with you? So now she has both her parents living under the same roof, and she's just like, oh my gosh, I cannot do this. So she decides to keep busy and book her like whole entire week with going on dates. She downloaded an app and was like, I'm going to attend all these dates. And there she like goes on these dates, and they're pretty fun and entertaining. And I'm like, oh, that'd be a fun date idea. So it was really cute. I really enjoyed it, and the twist at the end was like, whoa, did not see that coming, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. Okay, last book, again another holiday book, The Holiday Trap by Rowan Parrish. Okay, first of all, this is my second, maybe third book I've read that's very spicy for woman male romance, and it was interesting. I first off just love that there's representation for that, because I mean there's tons of like heterosexual spicy books, and I don't think that there's not enough representation for that type of spice. So I was like, oh, nice, get it. But this follows a girl, this follows a boy, and I just love seeing their stories. One of the girls, like, her family just becomes super overwhelming, and she's like, I need to get out of here. And then she's venting to her friend, and then her friend's like, oh my gosh, my guy friend just vented to me that he needs to leave town too. His boyfriend just broke up with him, and he just needs an escape. So she kind of puts those two in contact, and they end up switching places for like a month. So she goes to New Orleans, and then he goes to, oh, what's the name of the island? Both just find like a community and thrive where the other person lives. And it's just so cool to see them find a sense of community, a sense of belonging, and actual support versus what their family and current friends give. So I really enjoyed the book. I gave it a 5-star because it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. That is all for me. I hope you guys liked this video. Let me know if you've read any of the books, if you are gonna put them on the TBR, or if you have thoughts on like my like quick mini synopsis review of it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.